Buddhism has become one of the largest religions in the world, with many different schools and branches. However, if we go back to its origins, to the Buddha Gautama, who was born a prince and later enlightened, we will discover a set of philosophical principles called the Dharma. The Dharma teachings contain profound wisdom for those seeking inner peace and tranquility in their souls. Browsing through Stoicism and Buddhism, one cannot overlook a video on Buddhist wisdom, bringing inner peace. 1. Attachment leads to suffering. This is one of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism. We suffer because we attach too much to external things, which, in reality, are beyond our control. Through this, we truly confront the fundamental truth of existence. Change is unavoidable. Youth and our beauty will fade with time. Those we love will depart, and even our success, like on YouTube, will one day come to an end. However, what's important is to have a deep understanding of the present, to accept the impermanence of everything, and to be willing to let go. As the Buddha said, the wise let go of attachment to all things. The virtuous do not dwell on desire and pleasure. The wise do not display excitement or disappointment when experiencing happiness or sorrow. 2. Aspiring for what is righteous. Another fundamental principle in Buddhism is that deep desires, also known as cravings and attachments, harm the mind and create anxiety, even damaging one's health. However, this doesn't mean that we should try to completely eliminate desire altogether. Even Buddhist monks and practitioners have desires. It is the deep desire for enlightenment. And perhaps you come to Buddhism seeking liberation from suffering. So, desire is not inherently bad. It's important to aspire for what is righteous and equip ourselves to deal with the mistakes that lead us astray. In Buddhism, this means training the mind. To quote a quote from Buddha, like rain that penetrates a thatched house, passion penetrates the undeveloped mind. Just as rain cannot penetrate a well-thatched house, passion never permeates a well-developed mind. 3. The pursuit of sensual pleasures ultimately leads to suffering. According to the teachings of the Buddha, indulging in sensual pleasures leads to suffering. These pleasures themselves are not inherently wrong, but if we become ensnared by them, they can become sources of wrongdoing. Greed, desire, and addiction all stem from the craving for satisfaction of sensual pleasures. When we allow these pleasures to dominate our lives, we are susceptible to being seduced by Mara, the tempter, leading us into wrongdoing and causing suffering for ourselves. The fear, discontent, and desires that arise from the pursuit of sensual pleasures often lead to cruelty, greed, and even violent behavior. It's not surprising that we exhibit cruelty, greed, and even violent behavior, not only towards other humans, animals, and the environment but also towards ourselves. It can be likened to a storm wreaking havoc on trees and grass. Mara, the tempter, also governs those who live in sensual delight, lose control of their senses, overindulge in food and drink, become lazy, and indulge in excess. 4. From suffering arises beauty. Suffering is an integral part of life. While Buddhism aims to end suffering, completely eliminating the dark aspects of life is akin to throwing out the baby with the bathwater. It is the profound suffering that propelled the Buddha on the path to enlightenment, and often it is from there that we draw much of the fertilizer for a more beautiful life. In my view, the profound understanding we gain from suffering can be an opportunity to become more compassionate and creative. For example, I couldn't create these videos if I hadn't experienced deep pain before. Like the quote goes, "From the heap of garbage by the roadside, a lotus can also bloom, spreading its fragrant scent." 5. Connecting with positive and trustworthy individuals plays a significant role in life. According to the advice of the Buddha, connecting with people who have positive intellect and spirit is an essential part of our journey. It involves associating with individuals who have deep souls and are inclined towards the path of enlightenment. For those seriously following the Buddhist path, this may mean seeking companionship within a Buddhist community or even becoming a monk. Absolutely, not everyone is suitable for everyone else. The Buddha adjusted that it's better to live alone than to live with those who are not wise or negatively influence us. And from my personal perspective, this is sound advice. Living alone and doing no harm. Let us be like a solitary elephant in the forest. 6. Mind training through meditation is the cornerstone of Buddhism. The ultimate goal of meditation is to achieve liberation from the mind, which means transcending the thoughts that often bind us. We are not just the thoughts we think. However, we often identify with every thought our mind produces, even when they may be harmful to us. Absolutely, when we liberate ourselves from the burden of overwhelming thoughts and disengage from the activities of the intellect, we step into the present moment fully, unbound by the past or the future. That's where true happiness resides. As the Buddha taught, those who conquer negative thoughts, meditate on impermanence, and maintain continuous mindfulness, they will end desire and destroy the control of Mara. 7. The consequences of bad actions often don't manifest immediately. Many of the things we do may not initially cause pain. For instance, indulging in sensory pleasures can provide fleeting joy without immediate suffering. However, deceit, manipulation, and even theft may bring temporary happiness or avoid pain, but their consequences are often long-lasting and bitter. Indeed, over time, the consequences of bad actions catch up with us. We may become slaves to heavy addictions, allowing our lives to be controlled by unchecked desires. Or through deceit and manipulation, we become untrustworthy, not only to others but also to ourselves. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a belief in karma, the spiritual principle of cause and effect and reincarnation. Therefore, the concept of karma emphasizes the accountability and interconnectedness of actions across lifetimes. Actions that are not directly addressed in this life may resurface in future incarnations, possibly manifesting as unfavorable rebirths. As the quote suggests, evildoers may initially find it easy to accept themselves when their misdeeds haven't yet come to fruition. However, when the consequences of their actions become apparent, they will endure the pain resulting from those actions. Summary: according to Buddhist philosophy, every action we undertake in the world will have corresponding consequences. From attachment leading to suffering, to desiring what is right, and pursuing sensual pleasures resulting in suffering, we learn that our actions bear fruit. From suffering, we can learn the beauty of experience. Good relationships are important, and training the mind leads to happiness. Ultimately, awareness of the consequences of short-term actions helps us realize the importance of leading a righteous and compassionate life. Please remember that these quotes are taken from the Dhammapada and combined with my personal reflections and what I have learned from studying Buddhism. If you're interested, there are many other Buddhist scriptures to explore beyond the Dhammapada. That's what I wanted to share. If you have any Buddhist wisdom you'd like to discuss, feel free to leave it in the comments.
Thanks for watching.